In this session, we are going to look at settings in RISE accounting. When I say settings, it's almost the first thing that you do when you set up the system. So you're going to put in your company information, you're going to put in your accounts, your default accounts, you're going to put in, set up your print forms and so on. All right? Now, let's start by going into accounting and settings. This is the pop-up window we are going to work with today. All right. Firstly, I'm going to put in my company information. I'm going to fill in some random information. Let's say, okay, address line, let's say 189. Okay, let's say Sandton, city, Johannesburg, province, Gauteng is in the list, postal code, PO box. So as you can see, I'm just filling in the information of my company, my registration number, which is in my company formation. Let's just put in the numbers there and the name of the person responsible for this company. No middle name, surname, phone, and so on. Okay, so we can put in an email address and a website. Okay, a logo. We're going to upload logo, select from this, and we can select the logo from wherever we have our logo in here. I don't have any logo in the moment, but whatever logo that you have for your company, you can select here. And this logo will go into your statements, your invoices, supplier invoices, and so on. All right. So I will save the information that I put in. Okay. Then I'm going to go into general settings, and just to explain a little bit about what this is, here we have default currency. We will select the currency that we usually use, which is in this case is rands. If I want to select any more, I can select here from the list, but for me, I use rands, so it's rands. Then I am going to use multi-currency. If I deal with dollars, if I deal with rands, euros, and so on. So if I use more than one currency, I will use multi-currency. Quantity field decimals. So this is, for example, I am selling something. I'm offering services per hour. All right, and my hours for a specific service that I offer to a client is 1.5 hours. I took literally 1 hour and a half to do my service. So I will allow the system to give me one decimal point for my quantity. If I want 4, I can put in 4, and I can put in for my hours 1.2555, and then the system will calculate the price accordingly. Let's just put 1. Actually, let's just put 2. So I can put 1.50, for example. All right. Then I will go and say allow duplicate check numbers. So if we're using checks, if we want the system to accept using duplicate numbers, I can just tick in that. Allow duplicate reference numbers in supplier invoice. If I want my supplier invoices to have duplicate reference numbers, I can just click on that. But usually I would prefer to have unique reference numbers so I know I didn't do any duplication in my supplier invoices. Then I will use, I have here the option of using accounting by departments, by project, and by classes. So I can tick the one I would like to use. Then we have unbalanced general journal entry posting. So this is, for example, I don't want my journal to balance. So, for every credit you need it, sorry, for every debit you need a credit. So if I want to have only one side of the transaction, I can allow this, but I would prefer to not have that because I don't want problems in my financial statements at the end of the year. Use Cloud Commerce. This is the integration we are having. At the moment, it's with Shopify. If you want to use that integration, you can just tick on that. I will show you this in another video. Use custom fields and data. This is if you want to customize your reports even more for specific fields and data, which I also have another video explaining how to use that. If you want to use it, you can just tick on that. Email settings. I will also make another video explaining how to set up the email account in the system, but this is basically selecting the email address that you will use in order to send out emails from the system. Okay, if you want to use the bulk mailing functionality, you can also tick that option where you can send an email straight from the system to all your customers or to all your suppliers and so on. Okay, and then bank transactions. Do you want to use categorization rules in bank? So when the bank stream recognizes a reference number, it will automatically allocate it to a specific account. That's the categorization rules, which I will show again in another video. You can tick that if you want to use it. If you have a a card service provider, which is in this case SnapScan, Ikoka, Yoko, and so on, these are the service providers that, for example, you have received 500 Rand from a customer and they swiped using the SnapScan card machine. In your bank statement, you will only get 492 Rand instead of 500 Rand. So if you use a card provider and you have that situation, you can just tick this and the system will accommodate your needs. All right? Okay, let's move on into accounting settings. Here is where we are going to set in our default accounts. Let's say now we are going to select the first month of our fiscal year. Let's say it's March. Bank accounts, we are going to put in our main bank account. I think it's FNB. Yep. Undeposited funds, this would be our cash account. Sales, this would be our default sales account. Now, in this case, I have many sales account, so I am not going to put anything here. I will leave this blank. Same with cost of sales. I will also leave this blank. All right, my expense account, same thing, because I'm leaving this blank because I have so many different sales accounts and so many cost of sales accounts that it will vary per invoice or it will vary per inventory item. And I will show you how we're going to do that in another video. So for now, I will leave this blank, okay? Because I don't want to allocate, let's say now I'm selling motorcycles and I don't want to allocate that to the sale of tiles. And if I put a default account, I'm scared that I will forget to change it. Therefore, I would rather leave it blank and have the system remind me all the time that I need to allocate an account to my invoice and to my inventory item. All right, so I will leave that blank. Then I will go into inventory. I will select my inventory control account. All right, shipping income. I will also leave this one blank because I don't use it as a company. Then AR account, which is my accounts receivable. I will select my debtors. I don't know what it's called in my chart of accounts again. I think it's customer control account. Yes. And my AP account, which is my accounts payable, will be my supplier control account. Okay. My advanced income account will be a liability because I'm receiving money in advance. But this is mainly used for a school business, so I will not use this for my company, and therefore I will leave it blank. Then I have discounts and allowances. So if I have a discount account, I will add it there. I don't have it in this case. Exchange losses, bank interest, and so on. All these accounts, if you have it, you can add it there. If you don't have it, you can also leave it blank. There's no problem. But when it's time for you to deal with exchange losses and exchange gains, the system will require you to add an account. And yeah, that's it. And the opening balance account, I will select my opening balance suspense account. All right. So this is when I'm uploading the opening balances for my customers and for my accounts. All right, then we will look at, let me just save this before I lose everything I've done. Okay, and let's look at now closing the books. This is what you will do at the end of the year, and you will specify a specific date for closing the books. And if you want to do it per module, you can do it. As you can see here, you have all the modules here in the system. If you want to specify a date per module, you can do it. But I'll go in detail about this later on. And let's go now into the inventory settings. Now here you can choose your default unit of measurement. I will choose my default unit of measurement because I can always change it. So I will come here. As you can see, for now, I just have hours. I'm going to create each. So my set name will be each. Base name will be each as well. And my abbreviation EA. I will show you more detail on the unit of measurement in a separate video. Okay? If I'm going to use all of this, accounting by warehouses, multi-location, assembly, shipment, lots and serial numbers, etc., I will tick them. But for my business, it's a small business, so I won't use all of that. I will show you in the inventory management videos how to deal with all of this. And I will just save it and move on to that. Now, if I am VAT registered, I need to tick and start filling my VAT information. So let's say I'm VAT registered. I need to put in my VAT number. Okay. And I need to put my tax system. I do normal VAT and my default purchase VAT. At the moment, you will see we don't have any type of VAT created in the system, and I'll create the VAT standard rate just to show you how to do it, and then you create the rest on your own. So I will create code, it will be VAT standard. Okay, the description, it will be standard rate VAT. The percentage, it's 15%. The account it will go to is my VAT control account, and my VAT type is the normal VAT. And I can just save and close. Let's say I want to create the exempt VAT. So this one will be exempt. Description will be exempt VAT. My rate is 0. My account is VAT control account. And my VAT type is exempt. Where is my exempt? I will use 0 rated because it's also 0. All right, and save and close. So you can do this to every single VAT type that you have. In my case, I just created this two, and you can create the rest on your own. So I will select my standard rate VAT, and for my sales as well, it will be standard rate VAT. And if I want the option that my price already includes the VAT, I will tick it here. If I don't want it, I will not tick it here. So whatever price I put in the system, then the system will still add 15% on top of that. Okay, so I will leave it unticked. Tax reporting frequency, we have here the different categories in South Africa, and in this case, I will be under category B. Okay, tax control account will be my VAT control account. Provision account will also be my VAT control account. And that's it. I don't deal with early payment terms for my VAT. I will save it so I don't lose what I've done. All right, and now let's go to the last part, which is our print form setup. Here, I will show you how you can set up your print form to what you like. Let's look at the invoice, tax invoice. Now, in my tax invoice, I can choose the envelope size, but I won't deal with that. I want to deal with the information that my tax invoice has. Okay, so I want my tax invoice to show the company email. I want to show the name of the person that I'm dealing with, as well as the company. Then I want to show the website of our company, the mobile, the fax, VAT number of our customer, and the project. And yeah, that's it for me. That's the only information I want the system to show in my tax invoice. And then in my left footer column, center footer column, right footer column, which is the bottom of our invoice, I can choose where I want more information to appear. Let's say I want my banking details to appear in my invoice. So I can put in here, let's say text and my banking details. Okay, let's say this is my account number. Branch code is reference, I will say here invoice number. Okay, it can be according to what you want. If you want to put in here terms and conditions, that's it. You can put it there and save and close. All right, you can do the same thing to all of these print forms. And now I will show you how my tax invoice looks like. I will print it. And here is my tax invoice. As you can see, here is the information that I wanted to put in. Whatever information I didn't put in will be blank. And here at the bottom, I have my banking details. All right, and that's how we use the settings in Rise Accounting to set up your